The 10 most expensive comic books in the world. Are comic books your thing, or are you just curious how much the most expensive ones sell for? Welcome, Honeybee Watchers! These are the 10 most expensive comic books in the world. 10. Marvel Comics number 1, $350,000. Marvel Comics number 1 is the first issue published by the company that we know now as Marvel, and features the first appearances of some of its most popular characters in those early years, the Human Torch and Namor the Submariner. 9. Tales of Suspense number 39, $375,000. The success of the Iron Man movies has seen Robert Downey Jr. become one of the world's top-earning actors. This comic features the first appearance of the character, yet another creation of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. The comic book sold in 2012 for $375,000, which probably had a lot to do with the massively popular Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man movies. 8. Flash Comics number 1, $450,000. The first issue of Flash Comics includes the debut appearances of both the Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, and the Golden Age Hawkman. Written by Gardner Fox and drawn by Harry Lampart, this book from 1940 fetched $450,000 or 345,690 pounds in 2010, which at the time made it the second most expensive comic in history. The majority of the best quality Golden Age comics in the world come from his collection. 7. X-Men number 1, $492,937.50. The first issue of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's X-Men series sold for $492,937.50 in 2012. It debuted appearances from mutants like Cyclops, Beast, and Magneto. X-Men went on to become a huge success, creating multiple cartoons and movies adored by millions of fans around the world. 6. Batman number 1, $567,625. An energetic bidding war in 2013 led to this classic comic, the first issue of Batman's ongoing series, and the first appearance of both the Joker and Catwoman, becoming one of the very few comic books in history to ever crack the $500,000 barrier. 5. All-Star Comics number 8, $936,223. All-Star Comics number 8, CGC 9.4, first Wonder Woman sells for a record $936,223. And All-Star Comic number 8, graded CGC 9.4, has just sold on eBay for a record $936,223. The December 1941 comic book contains the origin and first appearance of Wonder Woman by William Moulton Marston and H.G. Peter. 4. Detective Comics number 27, $1,075 million. Detective Comics number 27 is one of the most sought-after comics in the world for its debut of Gotham's Dark Knight Batman. This comic also introduced Commissioner Gordon and Batman's alter ego Bruce Wayne. This is the highest ever graded unrestored copy of Detective Comics number 27. What's more, the comic series Detective Comics is also how DC, Detective Comics, got its name, which only increases the value of this treasure. The first appearance of The Dark Knight from 1939, created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, is a book all comic book lovers would want to own. This was the most expensive book ever sold when it changed hands back in 2010. However, there is a lot of talk about a theoretical better quality issue being the most valuable comic book in existence, but one is yet to be found. 3. Amazing Fantasy number 15, $1.1 million. The highest graded copy of Amazing Fantasy number 15, featuring the debut of Spider-Man from Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, has sold in a private transaction for $1.1 million. This is by far the highest paid price for a Silver Age comic book, and is an almost 1 billion% increase over the 12-cent cover price. This 1962 comic book by Steve Ditko and Stan Lee features another first appearance. But this time, it's Spider-Man. Amazing Fantasy number 15 is the third most expensive comic book in the world. 2. Action Comics number 1, CGC 8.5, $1.5 million. This comic shows just how much value is placed on a CGC ranking, and the difference half a point can make to the value of a comic book. While it features the same material as the most expensive comic in the world, it falls short of first place because its grade indicates that it's in the general condition it's not the best it could be. It might include creases or folds on the pages and small scuff marks on the cover, which all make a difference. 1. Action Comics number 1, CGC 9.0, $3.2 million. Seen by many as the holy grail of comic book collectibles. Although, as noted earlier, a good case could be made that Detective Comics number 27 is actually the true holy grail of comic book collectibles. If you rank the biggest individual sales of comic books, sales of Action Comics number 1, featuring the debut of Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's historic Superman, would take up most of the spots on such a top 10 list, with an astonishing 4 different copies having sold for $1 million or more. With this 9.0 CGC ranking, one of only 2 officially graded 9.0 copies in the world, selling on eBay in 2014 for over $3 million, after the other official 9.0 copy sold for $2,161,000 3 years earlier. In 2014, this 9.0 CGC ranked copy sold for a massive $3.2 million, making it the most expensive comic book in the world. We hope you enjoyed our list of the 10 most expensive comic books in the world. It is still possible that there are even more expensive comic books out there waiting to be discovered. Which book would you like to have? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing.